Boom, welcome to the Sebs Show, everybody. It's your boy Sebs, co-host Gib.
What's going on, guys?
We're super late. It's pretty much 3:30 in the 3:30 p.m. Eastern. An hour and a half before the fight starts, so I don't expect a lot of views on this at all. If any, God bless all you guys who watch this. I love you guys, but yeah, I don't expect a ton of views on this video for sure. Maybe afterwards or something. But hopefully some people are gonna start tuning in. But regardless, we're gonna break this shit down. Try to break it down super quick. It's gonna be a skim, we're gonna skim over everything super quick. But we're gonna give you the details you need to know and the bets we placed. And Gibbs gonna give you a DraftKings lineup that he thinks is a winner. And other than that, man, let's start breaking this card down. I've got Assuncao versus Moraes 2. This is a good card. Like I always say, from top to bottom, but these Brazilian cards always deliver, man. They literally always deliver. I really like the start time. Starts at 5 p.m. Eastern. Main card starts at 8. Fucking beautiful. Shit's going to be over by like 10:30, 11.
I was about to say, before 12.
Before 12, which is just beautiful. And just so much fun fights on this card. A ton of the main event. I'll already say right now, I don't have a bet on it. I'm looking very forward to watching that rematch. The first fight was super fucking close.
That's a great rematch, and
I can't wait to see what happens, because the winner of this is almost definitely getting a shot at the 135 title
for sure.
Unless the only scenario I can see happening is if they do the Cejudo Dillashaw rematch and they extinguish the flyweight division and they go to 135. But I think this fight, it sounds funny, but I think this fight has a big impact on the flyweight division, and I'll explain that in a second. I think that if this is a boring fight or something, someone doesn't convincingly win again, maybe not a boring fight, but it's just another
boring fight.
Maybe it's a split or something, and maybe the Cejudo TJ rematch looks more entertaining at the moment before one of these guys can get a shot at the belt. Then I can see easily Dana White doing that, extinguishing the flyweight division, making those guys jump up to 135, and fucking one of these guys waiting on the sidelines for a title shot, or maybe even taking another fight, which I wouldn't recommend at all. But hopefully that's not the case. I very much hope the flyweight division stays intact. Henry defends his belt there, and I hope the winner of this fight gets to fight TJ. I would love to see both fights, Assuncao versus TJ3, to see who gets that, because who gets the rubber match there, and TJ versus Moraes would be fucking amazing as well. So
a good fight.
Yeah, so we're gonna start up. It's already super late. First fight of the night, we got Magomed Bibulatov taking on Rogerio Bontorian, and this is rather fresh in my mind because I waited till yesterday to do almost all the tape, guys. Hence the reason we're a little late, but more important shit to do in life than tape. Okay, so we'll start off with Magomed here. Bibulatov, coming off that knockout loss to John Moraga.
That was a good fight, though, man.
Really good at the beginning. You see a lot of what Magomed's trying. He dictates a lot of the pace and the movement, and he uses angles fucking very well. His shout out to my boy Newsom, who I was listening to his podcast. He was pointing out some shit about his style, and I didn't know he was I think it was Newsom was saying he's a Kempo Karate black belt. If not Newsom, I'm just giving you credit for anything, so don't worry, bud. But I heard somewhere he was a Kempo Karate black belt. So his movement's really ridiculous. I think it was actually on the fight, and Rogan was saying he's a Kempo Karate black belt. You can see that's what it was, and he was saying it wasn't Newsom. Sorry, Newsom, but you can see that Rogan was saying like his front kicks a lot like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson's, and I can see that. Whereas like he dictates a lot of like you don't know when it's coming and stuff. It's got a fucking gorgeous uppercut too, man. Really nice uppercut and shit. But in that John Moraga fight, you can see he's trying to dictate the pace with the front kick and stuff. Ends up getting caught in an exchange. Takes a hard fucking shot first, and gets it rocked, but he's still intact, bro. Like maybe he's not up all there, but my man's legs wobbled for a millisecond, bro, and he came back. He came back real quick. He came back to his senses real fucking quick. He had his guard up. He was good. He had his senses real quick, and then he threw Moraga threw a high kick. Magomed ducks under. I don't know if any part of Moraga's foot hit his head, possibly, but from what I saw, he ducks under, and then he comes across with this left hook, and boom, knocks out Bibliakov out fucking cold, man.
Yeah,
out cold. But you have to take something in. Bibliakov, smart guy, took 16 months off now from that knockout. Recovered his chin, been working like a fucking animal, and this is a guy that the UFC, in my opinion, can build a division around since Demetrius left. This is a guy who people were saying before in the future is going to be a championship contender who's going to challenge Demetrius, who's going to give Demetrius his toughest fight. Now that Henry's the champ, Magomed would be one of Henry's toughest fights. I guarantee you that. If you just look at the style-wise, even right now, the man might not have the same experience and like the wrestling, I'd give obviously to Cejudo, but I don't know. That's a tough fight to call. Obviously, I'm just saying like this is a guy who his style would make a difficult fight for Henry Cejudo. Wouldn't be a gimme fight at all.
Especially with
Cejudo. Wouldn't be a gimme fight at all with Cejudo. But I can see Bibliakov even pulling an upset against Cejudo and winning that fight. Against Janelle Lauza, this guy just fucking really showed his. They didn't even show all of his tools, but he was showing a lot of stuff, man. Like I mentioned before, the uppercut and everything. He's just fucking dangerous. Very, very technical striking. Keeps his opponents at bay. I love it. And he's a good grappler. Really good top game. Really heavy pressure. Not scared to grapple at all, actually. But he's definitely more comfortable on the. He's comfortable everywhere, to fucking be honest. I can't. Yeah, he's very well rounded. I can't say he's more comfortable on the feet. He might even be more comfortable on the ground. He's very comfortable on the ground, and I don't know. I think he's the top. He's a future contender of the championship for sure. But let's go to his opponent here, Rogerio Bontorian. In his last fight, he fought a guy undefeated as well. I think his name Gabriel Garcia. Fuck, I forgot his name now. Are you on Tapology at the moment?
Gustavo Gabriel,
that's what it is.
Is that it?
Yep. And
Rogerio Baton, right?
Yeah, and fucking pretty good fight, man. At one point in the second round, it strikes back and forth. Something else I want to point out that Magomed throws a lot of combinations, and you don't know what he's gonna do a lot of the time. He's wild, man. He throws some spinning back fists. He's very wild, but he's technical. And I'm pretty sure in this camp he's been training in Russia. He hasn't been training with Mark Henry, so I'm not sure. But maybe he felt like he needed to go back to his roots in Russia. That was helping him beforehand, and maybe he got a little working with Mark Henry at the end there. But actually, I'm gonna check right now if he did. I'm gonna check his Instagram, boys. Yeah, it doesn't look like he has been training at Mark Henry's. It looks like he's been training in Russia for this camp. which I kind of do like. A lot of the Mark Henry fighters aren't having that much of a fucking doing that well at the moment, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's hard
Who
to judge.
actually like Edson left American. He was on. He was getting mauled by those wrestlers or whatever. But so you can't really blame that on Mark Henry. But fucking when he went to American Top, he looks like a fucking rejuvenated Edson against Daniel Hooker, rips him apart, man. And fucking I don't know, Frankie's we can say he's not on. I don't know if he's on the decline or not. His last fight was what, Cub Swanson. I don't even remember, but yeah, man, fucking. I'm not super. Fuck, they actually have some good fighters. Corey Anderson and shit's pretty nasty. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, but well, but I do feel comfortable with him training in Russia here. I can see Mark Henry in his corner maybe today as well. I wouldn't doubt it. But regardless, I don't care where he is trained. We're talking about Bonthering here, and I fucking skipped totally, jump ship completely to fucking Bibulatov over there. Okay, so let's go back to Bonthering in his fight. Was fighting, like I said, Gustavo Gabriel or whatever his name was. Good fight at the beginning, and that's where I was going. That he throws some combinations and everything, Bibulatov, whereas Bontorian here throws single shots a lot. They're hard fucking shots, but a lot of single shots, and he's a good grappler and shit. He's pretty good in scrambles, but I can see him. I don't see him really taking down Bibulatov, and if he does, I don't see him holding Bibulatov down at all. He's gonna Bibulatov just gotta watch out in the scrambles, be cautious in the scrambles, and don't brawl with this guy, bro. Because this guy, he just likes to brawl, and that's how he wins on the feet. He's pretty wild on the feet, or this Bontorian guy. Nothing crazy, just these hooks and shit, these powerful hooks. So just don't brawl with him. Get him pissed off with the kicks and stuff. I don't know if Bibulatov is going to finish him. I can see maybe as the fight slows down, Bibulatov catches him with something, or at any point in the fight, Bibulatov might catch him with something sharp. But if Bibulatov is on his P's and Q's, I don't see him losing this fight if he's very cautious, and I see him being on his P's and Q's because of that Moraga loss. I think we're going to see one of the best Bibulatovs today. But in that fight against Gustavo Gabriel, Bontorian got clipped fucking hard, man. And he almost got finished on multiple, for like fucking different moments. That part of him getting finished almost got finished several times. And he fights back. He gets his takedown. Ends up jumping on this guy's back, sinking in a rear naked choke, standing up, chokes him out.
Good finish.
Good finish. Toughness. You saw the toughness there. That was good. I don't see that shit happening against Bibulatov. Bibulatov's too smart for that. He's a top level fighter. Go watch his fight against Seed Nurmagomedov, guys. When Bibulatov fought at 135 against Seed Nurmagomedov, who we will be talking about next. But yeah, man. Pretty much, I'm all over Bibulatov in this fight. I don't have a bet placed as of yet, but probably fucking at some point during the show, you're gonna see me place make a parlay with him in it. Kim?
Yeah. For this fight, I got Bibulatov 2. Bibulatov, yeah. Yeah, he was beaten by John Moraga in pretty quick fashion, but Moraga's a champ, man, and I think he was on a 3-fight win streak. Well, he was part of his 3-fight win streak at the time. not taking anything away from him because those kicks are pretty deadly. But I meant when guys are backing up, Vivitalov is really easily able to get inside and start throwing those hooks, really go with his left hooks and spinning back fists. In that order, by the way. Right hand, left hook, spinning back fist. A very deadly combination. He throws in threes. Good side kick, good leg kicks. Likes to throw the feint a lot, and he's really good with the jab, keeping people away from him. He's called the gladiator for a reason. He really kind of uses weapons and can shield with his right hand, throw a back kick 1 minute. Combine that with his takedowns and his kind of tackle-like shoots. It's real difficult to get away from him and be able to defend against his strikes at the same time. Throws lots of the kind of machine gun punches your way, and he's always a threat from beginning to end of the round. Rogerio Bontorin, on the other hand, on Dana White's Contender Series, I didn't see a lot of good stuff in his fight there, but he is definitely a huge submission threat and really good.
Yeah, I've seen a couple of his other fights too. He gets, like, even if you just got to be on your P's and Q's with this guy because he throws up some wild shit.
He does.
You just don't brawl with him and watch your P's and Q's on the ground and don't get in wild scrambles.
Yeah.
But he's. I watched Michinori Tanaka take his fucking back, take him down, jump into side control pretty easily. Michinori Tanaka. I know he's at 135er, but Tanaka's he's a pretty good wrestler as well.
Tanaka gets a lot of good grapples on people.
But he took him down, fucking side control right away. Took his back eventually, and that rear naked chokehold for the finish there.
Shit.
So this guy is very capable of being taken down, being finished as well. Just wanted to point that one out.
Oh, sure. And,
this is not by any means a Janelle Lauza or anything like that. This is going to be a one of Bibilatov's toughest, toughest fights, but tougher fights for sure. For sure. This is going to be a tougher fight. It might be a grind for him. But he might not finish this guy. But I see him dominating a decision either way. I think he's going to dictate the pace very well. He's going to get this guy frustrated with all the different weapons he's going to be using, and I just see him winning like that. But continue, bud.
In the third round of that Gustavo Gabriel fight that you
I think it was the second round.
I still felt that Bontorin actually started to throw some big knees in the end of those rounds. He's good at ending rounds, even though he throws very little punches and kind of
very few strikes.
He does wait, but when he does open up and starts throwing on autopilot, he throws some pretty heavy lumber, and when he hits you, it's like stones, man. If he tags you a few times and then latches on, he starts dragging people to the floor, and you better be back to business because he can grind you out. And like you said, he does get a little grindy. I think he kind of zombies forward a little bit too much, and he tends to fiddle with the jab a few too much. He measures with it pretty well, but it seems like he could hit a lot of his jabs if he were punching a lot more seriously. Whereas I see Magomed really working the jab, and once he gets comfortable with it, he's already on the kicks and he's already kind of putting his strikes into play. And if he needs that, he can go to the ground and start to throw his little punches too. So I actually think Magomed might take this fight on the stand-up, but he does have to really worry about if he starts winning the fight and then Bontorin just starts getting grapples on him and really good kind of leech tactics up against the fence.
Yeah,
but
he's really good against the defense too.
Yeah.
But yeah, that is something you can be worried about for sure.
He's leech like on defense, man.
Bontorin's a big 125er as well, but susceptible to gassing, we'll say.
Yeah,
it looks like he gasses a little bit, gets tired. But okay, enough fight. We spent a lot of fucking time on that fight, but we have to skim through these ones. Okay, next fight. Ricardo Ramos versus Saeed Nurmagomedov. I'm gonna shoot this one super quick. I do like Ramos in this fight. I was potentially gonna bet him, but I don't know some stuff, especially like I didn't even watch a lot of tape on him. I just skimmed through tape again.
Yeah.
Because I thought I knew enough about him already. I remember the spinning back elbow on Ayman Zahabi. He's a good striker, man. And he was working at Team Alpha Male. I think he's working somewhere else right now at the moment in Brazil. So that's good. He was training in Brazil for this camp. His last fight against Kung Po Kang, he was a pretty big favorite, and it went to split decision. I honestly didn't watch the fight, so I have no clue.
That was Mr. Perfect, right?
Yeah, did you watch that?
Oh, dude, that's a badass fight.
Was it?
It's a war, man.
Was it a split decision, you think, or was it a sort of like somebody of one unanimous decision? Like, was it a stupid, dumb decision, or did Ramos deserve like? All, like, you know what I mean? Did he deserve to win?
It's hard to say when when both guys are landing big shots and you can kind of see finishes from either of them. But I thought Ricardo Ramos held his own in that.
Yeah.
He had amazing body kicks, man.
Yeah, I did see that. When I was skimming over that fight, because I did skim over it. I saw that.
Great. And I think his takedown defense won him that fight. To me, personally, at least I think if you can avoid going to the ground and keep it striking.
I saw him get. I don't know if he got taken down, but he got. He was controlled on the ground for a little bit.
Yeah,
until he went for a heel hook at one point, and he swept, and he got out of it. But he was on the ground for a little bit. And Mr. Perfect's no easy out either.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like Ramos. Saeed Nurmagomedov last fight. I had Scoggins against him, and I was really pissed off, man. I thought I got robbed. I thought Scoggins won that fight for sure, man. I thought he even won 30-27, but at least 29-28. And for them to give the decision to Nurmagomedov, I was like, what the fuck, man? That was ultimately Scoggins' last fight too, I believe.
But in the third round, he had him on the floor, man.
He did have him on, but he didn't do much.
No, he was beating him up, man. Obviously, that should have happened way earlier. But if he gets to work on you, especially from that kind of that position, it's game over.
Yeah, I can see that, bro. I didn't even, like I told you, I fucking skimmed over these fights. I completely forgot he got worked in the third round like that. But Nurmagomedov is a tough out, man. You can't put anything past this guy either. He's got nasty submissions. Lots of like he doesn't knock a lot of guys out, but he's got like very like technical striking, these spinning kicks that he likes to throw. He's got some nasty kicks. He's a good striker, not like Khabib at all, I would say. Not like Khabib's all pressure all day, you know what I mean, and not the best striker. So he's a pretty good striker, but my man can wrestle too. Don't have any doubt about it. Very hard to take down. From what I saw, at least in the Scoggins fight. Scoggins didn't get him down, did he? I don't even. I think he did. I think he has
on the ground, like defending.
I think Saeed has 100% takedown defense. I'm pretty sure.
Scoggins is just weird in that fight.
I did score it for Scoggins.
It was like a complete counter, though.
I don't know. I scored it for Scoggins, but that fight was also at 125. That was like Saeed's first time ever, I'm pretty sure, fighting at 125. From what I remember. So he came in at 126.
I don't think he likes wormy opponents, you know?
He doesn't like what?
like those wormy type opponents who kind of just slink their way out of moves and then like slip in a few strikes here and there.
Oh yeah.
In the...
Ramos is gonna stand with him and shit. It's gonna be a good fight.
Yeah.
I got Ramos, but this is a close one to fight. I can see Nurmagomedov taking this as well. But I do got Ramos. Gib?
You know, I can see why you have Ramos. He has that low stance to him, and it can give him a lot of the same problems that Scoggins did. You know, he's got a spinning back kick ready to go as well. Very natural when he throws it too, and he throws right hands following them. Throws, you know, wheel kicks. Had some great wars. It was a lot of gunslinging in the Mr. Perfect fight, though. And that's part of the reason why I liked it. He was able to land his body shots in the second round a bit more on the fence. And I think Mr. Perfect even threatened a leg lock that he got out of pretty nicely.
Yeah.
So, you know,
Ramos was the one who did the leg lock.
Or sorry, yeah, he almost got him with that, right?
Yeah, it came cold.
It was sneaky.
He was extending it.
I think that's why I can see him winning, even if he gets to the ground against Said Nurmagomedov, man. And a lot of Said's game is like, once he gets you there, he kind of makes your day a living hell, takes your supporting arm out, like sweeps you, keeps like giving you that wrestle pressure, right? Mixes in the jab pretty nice with his uppercut. He's Again, I think sometimes when he spends too long watching people like Scoggins, he gets a little trapped in what they're doing, and his rhythm is almost completely broken. Whereas I almost think that him just iron chinning it and going in constantly and going for shoots, going for those punches and kicks that he throws, he'd actually be better off. He's got a great 1-2 and a single kick, and it's almost the same every time he throws it, but when he starts dialing up and down the tempo, that's when he starts to land on people. And just when they think that he's going to throw that same 1-2 kick combo, goes into a flying knee, man. And sometimes he grabs clinches. And, I mean, that Dagestani-style wrestling is just a real annoyance, man. They're stuck to you like glue for the entire fight. And, you know, Ricardo Ramos is definitely ready to bang if anyone's going to stand in. But I think this is going to be a really fun fight to watch, man. I mean, we could see a finish too. I can see it going either way. And hell, I can even see Ramos maybe pulling off like a submission while getting beaten up by Said, similar to what's been happening in the UFC recently. A lot of people have been getting these last-minute submissions. Full of them last year, so I mean, we might even see one of those. But I got Said Nurmagomedov in the stand-up a little bit more, and I think Ramos is going to have a tough time throughout the fight because I feel like Said punches with a little bit more frequency than Mr. Perfect does.
Okay, so you got Said and I got Ramos. Okay, yeah. Our next fight I'm gonna let you take because literally just skimming through them both right now. I didn't take either of these guys. I'm not gonna bullshit you. The two new guys, Felipe Colares, Geraldo de Freitas. I know they're both black belts. I know they're both really good grapplers, and they're both like pretty wild on the feet. Other than that, I'm gonna like take it away, and then I'll see what I skim through and if I can add to that at all. But Gib, take it away.
Gerardo de Freitas fought Luis Felipe Colares fight. Very loose arms at all times, and he can really flow with his strikes if he needs to. Being very good in the submission and clinch in that fight. A lot of good forward pressure, and was able to drag Corrales to the mats. Very
Colares is who he's fighting now.
Huh?
He's fought Colares before?
Oh, sorry. I guess I put the name before his sorry, my bad. I guess I read the name before the fight. Yeah.
Really good, real good submission clinch and pushing the pace forward. Great at climbing over people's guards and adapting to strikes that are being thrown up at him from his top control. And we'll repeat that game plan. Luda Giordano Maraujo. That was the fight he had.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, my bad. He's kind of.
You're talking about Colares.
Yeah, yeah.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
My bad. I was struggling with the name there.
Oh, don't worry.
Yeah, the fight with
Marajo, yeah.
In that fight?
Yeah, that's what I'm actually skimming through right now.
Okay, it's pretty good. He's got a nice karate front kick in there that he keeps, and really good at kind of throwing people to the ground and keeping them there. Great ground and pound, and he works, man, until he gets the sub. Goes for lots of arm triangles and switches to guillotines too. Whereas De Freitas is actually similar terror, man, and a little bit of the same style. Only when he gets people on the ground, he starts to rain the shots down almost immediately in a very, very fast tone. Starts to really increase the speed on you. Sticks to opponents, really clinching and going for takedowns. He moves back a lot and favors kind of that side.
From what I'm saying, sorry to interrupt you, this guy's he's a good grappler, man.
Who, Freitas?
No, Colares.
Oh, yeah.
Really good grappler.
Freitas is a pretty good grappler too. On the stand-up, he's got kind of pendulum movement, so move side to side and wait to see if he can throw little elbows and other little shots in there. When he starts passing his hips on the ground, starts to throw a lot of punches to the back and starts to really get people in trouble. Likes to backpack people. Really good with the body triangle and do what he can to win fights and keep people on the floor. And he's good enough with his action on the feet, man. But I kind of like the way Corrales is moving. I think he's a decent grappler in that Luda fight, and that's who I'm taking in this one.
Yeah, just skimming through Clash right now, he fucking looks like a definitely really good grappler. And when I skim through De Freitas looks like a good grappler as well, but not as slick or something. I don't know. They're both fucking good grapplers.
Oh, don't you think? Yeah.
They're both good. They're both black. They're both black belts, but they're both good grapplers. It's a tough fight to call for sure. I'll go with Colares as well.
Yeah,
but I'm not confident in that, guys. Don't listen to Gibbs. Gibbs did more of the tape on that one. I barely did anything. I just skimmed through everything right now, and I just listened to a couple of podcasts. But other than that, yeah, for sure, listen to Gibb on that, his tape. Didn't watch. That's probably the only fight I didn't watch. But yeah, I do like this Colares kid. It's gonna be sick to watch him in about an hour or so. Next fight, Junior Albini versus Jairzinho Rosenstruck. This I can't pronounce the name. Is it Rosenstruck or I don't know how it is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Fucking, he has like 80 kickboxing fights.
He's nasty, dude.
Bro, he's got
replacement.
64 knockouts and 80 kickboxing fights. He's pretty deadly, this guy.
Yep.
I don't know how many wins he has. I would like to know that right now, actually. I want to see his kickboxing record. Jairzinho Rosenstruck kickboxing record. I don't have his fucking record here.
He's got some nasty strikes, man.
They should have his record here.
Have you seen his fight with Andre Kovalev?
Yeah. The one in Ryzen, correct?
That one's good.
Boring. I thought it was pretty boring.
Really? I thought that was a good fight. That was the only fight he went like 3 rounds.
Yeah, he went 3 rounds.
Oh no, wait. I think he just went 3 rounds before.
I'm not sure, but
Oh yeah, a few,
but in that Kovalev fight, it wasn't the best fight, but you have to be smart. That Kovalev fight was probably his toughest fight to date, so, and he passed that with flying colors. So what was a split decision? I can't say it. I didn't dive too deep into him, but yeah, it was a split decision. From what I saw, it was pretty boring. I don't even think I finished the whole fucking fight. But I saw that Robert McCarthy knockout though. Yeah, it was the 10-second knockout.
Yeah.
Yeah, I saw that. That was super quick. He just caught him real quick.
Tense.
I wonder. I was just looking for his kickbox record, but fuck that shit. I just know he's got 64 knockouts, 80 wins. Yeah, I have no clue how many losses, or 80 fights, and no clue how many wins or losses. But yeah, Junior Albini. I think it's a good replacement for Dmitry Solozhenovsky or whatever. I think Dmitry actually would have fucked up Albini.
Really?
But, yeah, I think so. Albini is very overrated. I think other than that knockout of Timothy Johnson, where literally he was fucking. I think I had 5 units on Timothy Johnson, and
Really?
yeah, and like
Timothy Johnson's a tough.
Timothy Johnson's fucking horrible. He got knocked out in like Bellator too. Or he lost it. Yeah, he's horrible, bro. Fuck that guy.
At the time, he was pretty big going in.
Yeah, he got knocked out by Czech Congo in Bellator. Fucking embarrassing. Fucking embarrassing. That was embarrassing too. But whatever. Timothy's a good wrestler. You can't lie. Timothy Big Dick Johnson. He's I don't know if he's an All-American or anything. He has the tattoo, I'm pretty sure, on his back. Or is it American flag? I'm not even fucking. I don't remember, but I know he wrestled in college. I'm pretty sure. But Albini lost to Arlovsky. A fight where I had Albini all fucking day. I might have had 5 units on him as well there. So I've been on the wrong side of Albini in all 3 of his fights, actually, I'm pretty sure. Because I picked him against Arlovsky. He lost against Arlovsky away. Like Arlovsky was maybe in a resurgence, you can say, but I don't know. He's a little bit past his prime as well.
It was a weird fight. He kind of waited around for him to do stuff, and he got like outschooled pretty much. Yeah.
He
wanted to finish.
And then he gets caught Ezekiel from Mount by Alexei Oleinik. In a fight I thought he was going to absolutely dominate. I literally thought he was going to dominate that fight.
He had him bleeding actually in that one.
Yeah, he did have him bleeding. He was landing some shots, but he gets submitted for Mount. Well, it was just like fucking such bad fight IQ, man. This guy hasn't been impressive so far in this UFC, and I bet on him in that fight. I forgot how many units, but I definitely did bet on him in that fight. Man, I remember being so pissed when that happened too. Like that was the only thing you had to fucking avoid was and you could have won, bro. But I think this Jairzinho guy wins.
Really?
Yeah, I think he knocks out Albini. Albini used to be like fucking. Did you know this? When he was like 12 or 13, he was like over 300 pounds.
Really?
Yeah, he lost a shitload of weight or something. Not shitload because he's still big. He has to cut for 265.
Well,
But
he's at a healthier weight.
he was like morbid obese when he was a child.
Shit.
Yeah, but I like this Jorginho guy. I think he wins, especially when he's got this kickboxing record. I know a lot of guys are going to say Gokhan Saki, this and that. First of all, Gokhan Saki's going to fuck up Safarov. I hope all you guys know that. That's why he's fighting Safarov, bro, to fuck him up. But you guys can say whatever you want about this. I think Jorginho, he's 6-0. He's been against guys like Andre Kovalev, who was undefeated at the time at 9-0. I think it's a tougher fight, actually. Probably a tougher fight too than Albini. And yeah, I'm going with Jorginho. Gib?
I mean, I know Albini has been on a bit of a bad streak, and a lot of it is due to his kind of weight and fire style. But I think it really does work against fighters who are super aggressive. Against Oleinik, it started to kind of work for him. It's just that, once he started landing a few punches and the boa constrictor got him in that that triangle choke, I mean, that was it. But I mean, we already seen how far Oleinik goes, man. This guy's was on a crazy winning streak. Still is, isn't he?
Who?
The last guy was Mark Hunt.
Who?
Oleinik.
Oh my goodness! I think you're not
right.
He submitted Mark Hunt too, didn't he?
Yeah, there you go, man. This guy's still killing it. And
this guy's
like 40 something.
For sure, 40. At least 40.
So that's huge. But got on the scene fighting Timothy Johnson, very tough wrestler who had a good fight with Marcin Tybura not too long before that. Being able to back someone up like that up against the fence and get right back into the fight. Check out some of his really interesting elbows, and he can stop and fire a lot. Sometimes he just remains way too inactive. And at the end of the fight, the guy's just barely I don't think he's tired at all. I think he just kind of sits and waits for a little too long. But he's really just waiting for that aggression, that sprinting. And I think, Rozenstruik, I've seen a lot of his fights. He ends everybody in that first round, just destroys people quick. Went up against Andre Kovalev. No, I thought it was a pretty decent fight. Obviously, they spent a lot of time on the floor. But that was where Rozenstruik's hugest weakness was. Once he was on the floor, his energy started to almost get zapped away from him. And it really made that fight close. If Rozenstruik didn't get it to the floor himself and actually become the aggressor and even start to put a little bit of top control on himself, was he able to kind of get that split decision win. I felt like if it kept going the way it was going and the grappling didn't change, Rozenstruik would have been out of luck there. I think he's really fast, throws lots of cool hooks. He's similar to Derek Lewis, kind of hits people with one really big muscle shot that pushes people into his next shot that he fires. And when that hits you, it's chopping. At the heavyweight division, he's looking to loop something from the other side off your blind, off like a blind spot and really clock you. He bloodied up Kovalev in the first round of that fight with just a really nice jab, really sneaky with it in the very beginning. And when he gets comfortable, it can get very difficult. But I think maybe if Junior Albini can wait him out and maybe even get him to the floor, he can probably use that aggression that Rozenstruik might have in his advantage. This is Rozenstruik's first time in the UFC, so it's been a while since his last kickboxing fight. So if Albini can maybe get him to the floor and start to pull something on him, he might be able to pull something off and maybe even win by a decision or something, just getting him real tired. He does have heel hooks and an arm bar he got really early on, but has not really went for or gotten that since. Hopefully we get to see that tonight. I think Junior Albini actually gets it back today.
Okay. We gotta start actually going through these. It's 4:12 and fucking the fights start less than an hour. So, Next fight, Thiago Alves versus Max Griffin. I got 2 units on Thiago Alves at plus 170 to win whatever one. Fucking, I'm retarded right now. I don't even know how much it is to win. 3.4 units. I should have known that. Why did I do calculations in my head? But yeah, 2 units to win 3.4 plus 170. I do like Thiago a lot in this fight, especially I like it being in Brazil. Seems motivated for this one a lot. That it's his own.
He wants to end it in 1 round.
Yeah, he wants to knock him out. Yep. I hope he's not super aggressive and brawls and shit. I hope he uses those leg kicks and stuff. But I want him to be aggressive, but I just don't want him to brawl. That fight against Alexei Kunchenko, you can say Thiago won, but rewatching it, like I had Kunchenko winning maybe because of pressure, but you can easily say Thiago won that fight too. So I'm going back and forth on it in my mind, and you can give me a reason on it. You can probably persuade me for both sides for who won there. It was a super close fight, and I see leg kicks being a big factor in this fight, 100%. Max Griffin's legs always out there to be kicked. He's being able to take down. He's not one of the best wrestlers, even though he gets some takedowns. But Thiago's never been the best wrestler either. But he's got a good top game for sure. I'm pretty sure Thiago's a black belt in jiu-jitsu, as most of these Brazilians are, with veteran experience. And this guy has like the most knockdowns in UFC welterweight history. He's an animal. He's the pit bull, man. Max Griffin, on the other hand, best win is Mike Perry.
Yeah.
Not much you can say about that, man. Mike Perry is very one-dimensional, and Mike Perry still took him down in that fight, so you can see he's capable of being taken down. Other than that, he got pretty much tooled against Curtis Millender, except for that 1 round where he took Millender down and controlled him. Other than that, on the feet, he got completely tooled. I don't see him taking down Thiago Alves here and being able to keep him down for sure. And he got tooled by Zaleski as well, from what I remember. And then he got ragdolled, mauled by Colby Covington, and ended up getting finished in the 3rd round. And his only other win is against Eric Montano, who's fucking horrible, guys. And he knocked him out in the 1st round, under a minute. So good for him. All his other fights he's lost, and he went to decision and beat Mike Perry. So I don't think very highly of Max Griffin. He might be able to change my mind tonight, but I don't see that happening at all. I see Thiago winning this fight, especially it being in Fortaleza, Brazil. If it's a close fight, I see the judges on my side here, helping me out a little bit, giving the hometown nod, some hometown cooking to Thiago Alves, but I don't even think he needs the hometown cooking. I think he's got this fight in the bag. You're going to see a very good Thiago Alves today. I wouldn't say one of the best Thiago Alves, or maybe one of the best Thiago Alves you might see. He's been training all kinds with Dustin Poirier and stuff.
Nice.
And he does have some of the best training partners. You guys know that. But I wouldn't say we're seeing prime Thiago Alves, but fuck, man, we might see prime Thiago Alves tonight. And Fortaleza, Brazil's hometown. This guy's like 34, 35. Still has some years in him. He's very serious about fighting. And like they said, you wouldn't take a fight in Moscow against a guy who's 18-0 if you were thinking about getting out of the game. That's a guy who's still very serious about the game.
Yeah.
So I like Thiago Alves a lot, and I got 2 units on him at plus 170. Try and break it down as fast as you can, please, because I took too long.
Yeah, man. I can see why you want to take Thiago Alves in this fight. He's got a great leg kick in order to mix up the action with his punches, and very consistent stance switching. used it against Millender, even though Millender landed that knee and knocked Alvarez in the second round there. Really nice 1-2 into his kicks. Really good at clinching people in, bringing him in for knees, and then getting back away, balance back, and throwing some more hooks, throwing some nice looping them over and over. Likes to repeat punches a lot. Alvarez follows a lot of fighters around, keeps the kicks going to the body and the legs in a very unique way too. He can kind of cut the angles on people, and he's predicting a KO in this round. So I think the guy's going to come out furious in terms of muscle on his strikes. And I mean, you take 3 of those leg kicks, especially the type that Alvarez throws, it's not going to be a good night. And Max Griffin has his legs out really wide from the very start of the fight. And he's got a very whirlwind punch kind of combo mentality, just throws hands whenever he wants. He can be pretty good on the submission when he wants to. He's pretty fast at turning the pressure up on fighters, throws spinning backhands, very wild, but at the same time, he will chase and chase and chase and keep the work effort in people's face, making them, even if you're a very proper and clean fighter, a lot to deal with in your face that you have to address at the moment. He had a fight with Fernando Gonzalez that looked very, very sloppy, but an absolute war. I recommend people check that out if you want to see a really good Max Griffin fight. He has some exciting fights. He throws bombs at people, and what's funny is he actually won his fight with Mike Perry by staying away from him and actually running away. And it hit
he did not want to get hit by Perry. Every time Perry connected, Max Griffin hurt his fucking pants. He should have fucking
backed away and had to punch from a distance.
Yeah.
If he fights more often, he'd do a lot better.
Perry doesn't have good fight IQ. Perry, that fight, I was gonna pick Perry against Thiago Alves, and I think I would have lost, man. Thiago Alves, I think, would have really tuned up Mike Perry, man. A veteran like Thiago Alves would have fucked up Mike.
We all know his hole in jiu-jitsu, right? So
yeah, those leg kicks are dangerous, bro.
Yeah. I think other than that, Max Griffin does get picky at times. Where he actually should be firing punches when that's what he's good at. But I think Thiago Alves might actually be able to finish this one. You never know, man. I don't have this guy on my DraftKings, but I think it actually pays out pretty well.
Who?
Alves. I think Max Griffin is favored in that one.
Yeah, he is.
Isn't he?
Yep.
Yeah. So that would be a good one to pick if you want to keep the salary low, guys.
Yeah, I agree as well. I see Thiago. I see Thiago being able to finish him.
He has the tools, man.
Yeah, he can finish him, and he says he's gonna finish him and then submit him. He's gonna knock him down and then submit him or hurt him.
That's what you want. That's what you want a fighter to say, especially at the matchup that we have.
Yeah. All right. Next up is Taila Santos versus Mauro Romero Barella.
Yep.
Full disclosure, probably gonna put Taila Santos and parlay with Baby Lotov, and you guys will all see who else I'll put in that parlay. But I'm probably gonna be picking her. She is 15-0. She is like Paul Felder says, Edson Barboza. I want to give her. Don't think like she's like crazy like Edson like that, like with the fucking spinning kicks and everything like that. Edson's a little bit. Edson's a little bit more explosive, but this girl is good, man. She impressed me a lot. She's very well rounded. You saw at the end of the match, she took the girl's back and almost finished her. Right, she almost got that rear naked chokehold, but she was up against the fence there.
I'm surprised that was a decision. I thought she was going to finish that fight.
Yeah, me too. The girl she was fighting pretty much quit on her stool after the second round.
Yeah.
She didn't think she was going to win the fight at all. Her coach had to talk to her. Oh my goodness! So this girl, Taila Santos, her leg kicks are unbelievable, and her jab is really fucking precise. I can see her I see her lighting up Mara Barella's leg, because Barella holds it out there like nothing. If you watch that Caitlin Trukagan fight, she just like holds her fucking leg out there. Other than that, Barella's like a pretty good grappler. I'll give her that, but it was against Kalindari Faria, who like I don't think super highly of anymore. I did at one point when she was first coming in, but I think she got exposed. Tyler Santos, on the other hand, I think is the real fucking deal. I think she's gonna tune up Mara Barella. She's really good at sprawling and shit at her takedowns, and it looks like she's got good jiu-jitsu. I want to see how she is off her back, as I did only watch, I believe, 1 or 2 fights from Tyler Santos, but I don't actually want to see how she is off her back. I don't want Barella to put her there, but Barella does put her. If Barella does put her there, we'll see how she works out of it. But I think this fight stays standing. She's able to defend the takedowns, and Tyler Santos gets a decision, if not a decision, a finish. I think she's solid, man. So I'm taking Tyler Santos. Yep.
That's a great pick. I mean, I actually going for that as well. But I actually think the Barella matchup is pretty fair, just because in her fight with Caitlin Chukagian, Barella was actually able to stand with her and be very defensive in the pocket, and she was able to fire leg kicks back and forth. So
I don't know about you, but I don't think highly of Chukagian at all.
Really?
I think
is it because she lost her last fight, or is it just because
I don't like her style?
Okay.
She throws 150 strikes and only 20 land, so that's not.
I don't know, man. That's still big in a fight, because you kind of need numbers.
She's winning with air striking. She's another Elias Theodore. She's like Elias Theodore, bro.
You definitely hear her talking more than she strikes.
Holly
Holmes, you know.
I don't like Holly Holmes actually connects at least. Too.
She does, yeah.
Like Chukagian's Chukagian's punching fucking air.
Yeah.
But I don't think too highly of her. But yeah, she did win that fight for sure.
I do agree with you that she went to work against Kalindari Faria, man, and threatened a pretty crazy arm triangle for a while, and then just kept threatening for the rear naked choke and got her with that. A lot of strength in that rear naked choke. Good at controlling people's actions on the ground, and then kind of getting to people's backs that way. She likes to mix it up in the pocket, but the problem is Talia Santos in that fight that I watched on the Contender Series was just perfect. She won pretty much every single round. I thought she could have finished it, maybe even in the second.
She's so technical, man. She throws this the jab, or she throws the leg kick, a nice leg kick. At the same time, she'll throw the jab. You don't know what the fuck to do. What the fuck are you gonna do?
She's got amazing footwork, super active when she's standing close, and then when she's not waiting for you, man, she's like setting traps for you. She's got a nice switch that she glides into her low kicks. She was even able to avoid Almeida's strikes and counter right back with her in the first round. Great jab, like you said, a big threat, and like once she makes pace on you with that jab, that's it. She's just like hovering over you, smacking you, hitting those kicks on the side. She slapped a really nice body triangle at the end and almost tried to go for the choke. Again, like real difficult to stay up, especially if your leg is being attacked from start to finish. And Almeida's front leg looked obliterated at the end of the second round too. So yeah, if she starts cooking with those leg kicks and she doesn't get any answers back, Barella's screwed, man. But I think if Barella fights against her and keeps leg kicks going at her too, she might be able to at least maybe contest it. So I think it's a good matchup. I still think Talia Santos takes it though.
Yeah.
Maybe even gets a finish in this one.
Very possible. Very possible she gets a finish. Next fight, we got Anthony Fluffy Hernandez versus Marcus Maluco Perez. Can't wait to talk about this one with Gib.
All right.
We got to break this down super quick though, bro. We got so many fights left still to break down. But I'll go first. I'm taking Anthony Hernandez here. Probably also gonna toss him in my parlay. Really liked him. Just a fucking good grappler. Watch this. First of all, watch this. If you go watch that Contender Series fight, I know you guys are saying that Jordan Wright guy was a can or whatever. He was undefeated.
I don't think he was a can.
He was undefeated.
Anyone can get rushed.
He was undefeated.
That was a crazy rush.
And he clipped him, but he didn't like it. You can see he didn't like getting hit, Jordan Wright. So I didn't think super highly of Jordan Wright, let's say. But sorry. I need to fucking click on Hernandez's profile here. He was a big favorite too. He's like minus 280 at that time. And he knocked him out quick, man. He didn't at the beginning he was pacing himself and then boom, knocks him out in 40 seconds with that right hand, clips him. As soon as he sees he gets hurt, he swarms him, finishes him. Fucking deadly finish. And then you go watch him in all these other fights that he has, these first round finishes, and he's
Brendan Allen.
Yeah, I'll talk about that in a second. But you go watch his all his other fights, his first round finishes. Go watch his fight against Trey Williams, where he knocks Trey Williams out in 51 seconds, which is his pro debut. Just drops Trey Williams, bro. What a fucking hook he gave him. And all his other fights all of his other wins except his Brendan Allen win, he gets these fucking scary these arm and guillotines. These guys don't know what to do with it. Yeah. You have no idea. He just catches you with it. He's really good at pulling this off. He's practiced it very well. And if he doesn't get it, he practices going to the back from it. He's a really good grappler. Then I had some questions. How is this guy off his back, man, if he gets taken down? How is he at grappling and everything? How's his gas taking everything? And then I watched the Brendan Allen fight. And boy, did that shit win me over. He beat Brendan Allen 50-45. And on, I think 2 judges' scorecards are 1, and then 49-46.
Leg lock too?
He might have, yeah. I don't remember exactly. But it was 49-46 with 2 of the judges. He completely dominated the fight. It was mostly a grappling contest, but a lot of strikes as well, or some strikes as well. And just to show me you can grapple over 5 rounds. Grappling is the most exhausting thing you can do. Anybody who grapples will tell you that. It's definitely more exhausting than striking. So grappling for the 5 rounds, and this guy had a good gas tank the whole way through. Wasn't gassed at all. He's not the biggest middleweight, so he holds the cardio well, and he's a heavy hit. He's a heavy puncher. Very good grappler. Off his back, doesn't go for a lot of submissions. Likes to sweep off his back a lot. Works off the cage. Just finds ways to make a scramble happen, and then he works like that. Other than that, man, I really like him in this fight. Marcus Perez is only win in the UFC. Sorry, is against James Bogdanovich, who's a complete can. Got cut after he lost to Marcus Perez. Marcus Perez got tagged on the feet all 3 rounds against Andrew Sanchez. And Andrew Sanchez is not a good striker by any means, guys. Everybody knows this. He's not a good striker. I bet Andrew Sanchez that fight as well. And I bet him because I thought Andrew Sanchez was going to take him down repeatedly and fucking grind him out like Anders was grinding him at some points. And which brings me to Anders' debut, right? And fuck, man, Anders is like I don't want to say he's not a good wrestler. He used to be a football player and shit, so he's kind of good at wrestling, but he's not the best wrestler. And I'm pretty sure he's a blue belt or purple belt in jiu-jitsu, so he's not super high level or anything, but like he's good enough to hold his own. You know what I mean? And he handled Marcus Perez really well. He was fucking clipping Marcus Perez at points, man. He was hitting him real hard. I like Anthony Hernandez all day here.
Yeah, I can see why, man. Anthony Hernandez can blitz you in a second, and you won't know what happened.
I think he gets the finish. Watch that guillotine, bro. I think he gets that guillotine today.
And sometimes he breaks away and throws flying knees, like within, like either after the guillotine, as in like either after he has the clinch and he kind of releases it a little bit, brings you in for a nice knee. He's proven to go 3 rounds. Obviously, throws a lot of flying punches. The Jordan Wright fight. I mean, people don't want to give it to him. Whatever. I thought he would have started him anyway. A lot of aggression that he used seemed to bother Jordan Wright, and like Jordan Wright tried to use his feet and run away from him, but he couldn't. Very fast with kicks and very fierce in the early rounds. Makes a lot of decisions fast, looping uppercuts and hooks. Likes to get to the back of the people and fight close. Was able to get out of that some pretty bad leg work in his fight with in his last fight against I just said his name, Brendan Allen. Sorry.
Yeah.
His decision win. Brendan Allen's pretty high level too. So, he can really get fighters in trouble quick. And the KO can't be far behind. He's pretty dangerous. You got to really counter and have him held down. Marcus Perez, he's a really good grinder, man. He needed that fight against Heinrich just to stay in the UFC and keep his performance high. But I think Anders is no walk in the park either, because he's a guy who's just going to keep going for takedowns and just keep shooting. Other than that, I think Marcus Perez has some very fluid kicks and some really good step-in right hooks. I like how he's got very explosive power as well when he needs to. He's got a good mount and likes to throw punches from there and pass, go for those arm triangles. And if he can't get that, he likes to go for the chokes. Takes people's back. He's got a few leg locks in his back pocket that he had earlier on. Check out, obviously he got the he takes the fight on James Brockovic, being assaulted early on in the first round, but he adjusted well, worked nice knees on the fence, and you got to be really fast to take him down because he's a really big triangle threat. And, when we're on the floor against Marcus Perez, he can kind of keep you there. And when he gets you back up, he goes right after the break. And when he starts clinching people up against the fence, he'll start to throw the knees to the thighs. He's just a grinder, man. I think that type of style is something that Anthony Hernandez might not be used to, especially on the ground, because we're going to see who's a better grappler too, because Perez likes to do it. I actually think this might be a bit of a grappling match in a way. What's his name? Anthony Perez has some pretty decent guillotines and chokes.
Anthony Hernandez.
Huh?
Anthony Hernandez. You said Perez.
Or Marcus Perez.
He doesn't have guillotines. What the fuck are you talking about?
He's got some. Marcus Perez?
He's got a guillotine win? I don't even think he has one.
Or was it a Darce choke?
No, he's got a rear naked choke and an arm triangle.
Knee bar. Rear naked choke. Okay. Arm triangle. I guess it's just arm triangle and rear naked. But, yeah, man, I still think he's got really good submission potential as well. And
he's a black belt. You can't underrate him for sure. But I just think this is Fluffy's fight to lose, man. I think it's going to be a hard fight because it's in Brazil. But I think Fluffy's coming to show up, bro. He's pissed off. He got a no contest. I don't give a fuck what you guys. I don't give a fuck what you guys say. He's 7-0. He knocked out Jordan Wright clean, bro. That's 7-0, bro. and then you take away that motherfucking win, and you don't give Jordan Wright that loss because it's a no contest now because he smoked some weed. Go fuck yourself,
really?
bro.
That's what
Yeah,
Shit.
that's what they did. So Hernandez is 6-0. He's not 7-0. But don't worry, he'll be 7-0. He got this, bro. Is that all you needed to say?
Yeah. I got. I still have Marcus Perez though.
Okay.
I think he grinds it out.
Okay. I'll let you take our next fight here. Livia Renata Souza versus Sarah Frota. And please try and be quick. We have 20 minutes till the fight
We'll
starts.
do. Livia Renata Souza, she got some fast hands. She lands some nice counters, good over the top, and some good takedowns. When she grabs people, I mean, you have to try to get safe and get back to stand up. Once she lands more and more, she starts to add kicks in there, and it can start to get real difficult. She can be very fast when she's tracking people down. Tends to take her time in some rounds, but she actually finishes rounds very well. Sarah Fortot, on the other hand, very late on her feet. She has a nice left hand, a little bit of a homing missile. Use it a lot. You will kind of repeat left hand all the time, and if that double left hand's working, I mean, she'll just build it from there. And she lands constant 1-2s on Amanda dos Santos. I think that was one of her fights she had on the Dana White Contender Series. Ended her with a flurry of punches on the fence after chasing her down. Really good at cutting the octagon off and getting people into corners. She gets people to back up right into there, and she gets to throwing people people into her left hand. When she throws to the body or throws to the head, really should look for her body work. But LRS, Lavata Renata Souza, I think she's got some good punches for you. She's got some good tricky stuff. She can be very consistent when she can, especially on the striking. And I think she'll be able to at least go for some takedowns on Sarah Forta to shorten her time on the 1-2. And I think Forta's a little predictable on the left hand, so I think Souza or Livia Renata Souza will be able to take advantage.
Yeah. From what I saw of Frota, she's got like a nasty left hand. Doesn't throw too many other strikes. But she does a lot with that left hand. She likes to throw uppercuts, over, cross, jab, whatever. Very aggressive, takes shots very well. One thing to note, she came in 7 or 8 pounds overweight.
Yeah.
She was like 123, pretty much a fucking flyweight for a strawweight fight. Expect the size difference to play a factor in this. The reason I stayed away from this is the size difference will be huge. Renata Souza is a very small strawweight. She could probably make atom weight. I'm pretty sure she walks around that like 120 or 115. Whereas Frota has to cut a large amount, obviously, to get to even fucking 123. So never mind 115. And Frota takes shots like a champ and stuff. I don't know if Renata Souza's shots are gonna really affect her. Believe it or not, I think I'm gonna go with Sarah Frota on this.
Okay.
Okay, so our next fight, I'll let you take this one as well. Justin Ledet versus Johnny Walker. It's yeah. Oh, the last one was our first one of the main card. I was gonna say this one was, but okay. So Justin Ledet versus Johnny Walker.
Yeah, man. Johnny Walker has a nasty balance with his movement. Really good at feinting and hiding the real shots that he wants to throw. Spinning back fists, knees out of nowhere, and he likes to jump in the air for those. Very good speed, and his height really helps him. He likes to punch downwards at people. Really good at the kick and 1-2 combo afterwards. I'd like to see more of his front kick that he used on De Silva Olivo in the Contender Series. That's the fight that kind of got him in. His hand drops a lot, and you just can't do that in a fight against Khalil Roundtree. The power punches and a fight like that is a little difficult, but beat De Silva by decision. I thought he could have ended that fight in a guillotine in the second round, but he ended up getting the win anyway. Justin Ledet, on the other hand, 5 fights as a boxer, wins most fights by submission. I think that's pretty big. Really good jab, throwing it pretty dangerously too with his hands. Very fast for his kicks too. Really good at sneaking left hooks in against Godbeer and pulling off a great rear naked choke and getting out of a heel hook in that fight. Good takedown and good fence pressure could be very difficult in against certain opponents. And especially if you just think that he's just a basic boxer, because he's a lot more than that when he starts mixing things in. And he's a very, very good example of a lot of confidence and just being able to throw whatever combination he wants, kind of being loose and really kind of throwing those out there. I think he won't have a problem for the weight, and I actually think he'll be able to strike with John Walker in this one. So I got Justin Ledet.
Believe it or not, I actually also have Justin Ledet.
Oh yeah,
yeah.
I thought you might have Walker.
I have Justin Ledet. I think Walker can get a little bit wild at times. Sorry. But I think Walker can get a little bit wild at times. We saw in the Enrique De Silva fight, he did end up gassing. I think the later this fight goes, it just helps. It just helps. Fucking Ledet so much. Ledet had a very technical boxer. Only problem here I'm scared of is the leg kicks and everything like that. I was gonna bet Ledet initially, but it scared me off with Johnny Walker does have a lot of tools. He's very well on the feet. Anything can happen like that. But Ledet is and the grappling gave me I got some context from look at Johnny Walker's Instagram that he actually competed in the brown belt absolute division for a grappling competition, and he's a purple belt, and he won the whole tournament.
Oh shit!
Yeah, and he's a purple belt.
That's crazy.
So he's a good grappler. So I think if this hits the mats, he might have the advantage, as well as I know that works with Draculino, but Walker might have the advantage there. But I think I'm pretty much basing this on Ledet surviving and getting Walker tired, just peppering him with that jab and right cross. He might even be able to finish Walker if Walker gets too wild, because Ledet has a heavy right hand. And then other than that, I see him peppering Johnny Walker to a decision here. Wins rounds 2 and 3 with ease. But yeah, that's my pick. Next fight, Charles Oliveira versus David Claymore. I'll go first. I gotta skim through this quick. We have fucking less than 15 minutes. I think Oliveira is gonna sub him. Easy as that. David Claymore is a very good striker. He's probably gonna cause Oliveira some problems on the floor, but as soon as Oliveira gets a grab of, a grip of him and grabs him, and brings him to the floor, I think the fight's over. Oliveira has a UFC history record in submissions with 12. I think he gets his 13th here with a nasty submission on David Claymore in probably the first or second round. He's a very good grappler. He was very underestimated. I think the line should be a little bit wider as well. But he is known to quit, obviously, and flop to his back when shit's not going his way. So I did stay away from that, because if David Tamar starts winning the first round and starts pissing off Oliveira, then fucking Tamar can win this fight. Tamar is a really good striker, man. But I do like Oliveira to finish him here, probably by submission, like I said. Gib?
Yeah, you definitely don't want Charles Oliveira to start pulling off a lot of the same tactics he pulled off in the Anthony Pettis fight, when he started to get hit by big shots and he started to just go down on his back and try to defend off of that. It definitely is a bit a detriment to his style that he already brings. He already has great jiu-jitsu, great at getting the guillotine on and getting to people's backs as well. He can be a little reckless, but he does throw kicks and punches pretty well. They're a little wild, but I think he has some good combos, man. And I still think he's a big threat on the stand-up to a lot of fighters who are higher level. Like David Tamer went toe-to-toe with Lando, showing a really good fight and dealing with a lot of randomness and unpredictability by Venata. David Tamer was tagged with a few shots on the fence, though, and Venata was still swinging hammers, and yet I think he skipped a knee that had Venata that tossed his mouthpiece in the fight. It was a good fight too. Had some great exchanges, and just shows how good David Tamer is. When you miss a kick, man, holy shit, Tamer will throw a counter immediately and make you pay for it. From little to big steps that he makes, the strikes that he uses are very surgical. When he catches people with kicks or when he brings fighters into clinches, it's already bad news when he starts throwing those destructive knees and starts throwing body punches. And he even cooked up Jakar Close, who's very good at winning those long fights that go on. Now, I still think Charles Oliveira is a different grappler, and I think that David Tamer hasn't really been faced with a problem like that yet. I think Oliveira will be able to maybe even impose a bit of a striking match with him for long enough that might even make David Tamer commit too much. And I think Charles Oliveira could take advantage and maybe even get the submission that he's been looking for recently. But I definitely don't think it'll be by dropping to the floor after getting hit by something by Tamer. So it's a close bet for me, but I just got Charles Oliveira by a little bit. I think he wins it by submission, though.
Yeah. Just give me a second here.
No worries. Yeah, man, that flop is a big factor.
Yeah.
No, I noticed he pulls that move a lot in fights that he loses too.
Yeah, like he just wants these guys to fall to the floor or some shit with him. It's fucking ridiculous. We gotta be quick. I don't know what the fuck I'm waiting for. Next fight, Damian Maia versus Lyman Good. Pretty much the way I see this one going down. Maia's either gonna get a hold of Good and bring him to the floor and submit him, or Good's gonna knock out Maia. Lyman's fucking very dangerous. Stand up, he's like high level striker, and for Tiger Schulman's, he's like a sensei, high level karate guy. Just a very good striker. You guys saw what he did to Ben Saunders.
Yeah.
And then obviously Andy Craig too. He has the finishing capabilities. And then Zaleski, he actually didn't quit on a stool, but it was hard for him to go back for the third round because Zaleski was giving him a beating, and it ended up being a split decision. But
that was a very good fight.
But Lyman's a good fighter. He's only lost to top level guys like Andre Korshkov, Rick Hahn, and Ben Askren, and Zaleski dos Santos. Maia's coming off those losses to Usman and Colby and Tyron, 3 fucking wrestlers in a row. What?
Oh, just like tough fights.
Yeah. And obviously it was hard for him to do anything because he needs to grapple, and it's hard to grapple against top level wrestlers like that. But so like they shut him down. Nobody finished him in those fights, but the tough guy. He went off 5 rounds. I think he broke his orbital or something in the Tyron Woodley fight, something like that. But and he continued the whole time. He only had like a 4-week camp for the Woodley fight. I think this is a great fight for him. I think he actually wins this fight. So I'm going with Damian Maia, but I did bet the fight does not go to decision here. And I put that in the parlay with Tyler Santos, Anthony Hernandez, and Magomed Bibilatov. I got 2.93 units at plus 359, I believe. Yeah, plus 359. Something like that. To win like 10 point. Oh, shit. Yeah, to win 10.52 units. So that's my final play of the night there, the boys. Yeah. So what do you think? Try and make it quick, please, bro. We got like 5 minutes. It doesn't matter, bro. Fuck it. We can go past the time.
All right. Yeah, for this one, I was feeling Lehman good in the beginning. Really well performed finishes over Ben Saunders, and a bit of a rough fight with Zaleski. But when he gets with a combo, he throws punches to contest that. And he really is no stranger to biting down on the mouthpiece, and will continue to throw what works, and repeat right hands or left kicks or really good feints into his boxing. I think that's what kind of made the Zaleski fight a great striking match to watch. And when he looks to grab your legs and really bring them out from under you and get people on the back, he could pull it off. He likes to throw lots of body kicks when he likes to set those up. Whereas Damian Maia, more of a grappling guy. I mean, like, had over 20-some takedowns on Tyron Woodley. Tyron Woodley had to constantly stop takedowns and have his hands up, be ready to throw punches, and that just tired him out. And having a fight where Damian Maia is still alive and constantly diving for takedowns is very, very difficult. He just kept going for it. His knees were just ridiculously scratched up. And he just will not stop going for it. He mixes in boxing pretty well. And in early rounds, if he gets a body triangle on you, that's it. He's not getting off, and you can get submitted very easily. Damian Maia is super high level in his jiu-jitsu, and it shows just how quickly he can end fights and make fights that don't exactly look very advantageous for him all of a sudden look a lot better. In a fight where he fought a prime Carlos Condit, he was able to take out a fighter who had ridiculous range on him, and was able to make a body triangle and just lots of backpacking work against somebody who was by far outranged and definitely kind of outmaneuvered on the stand up. At least that's how I felt. Lehman Good, on the other hand, has a very high-level striking background as well. And a lot of times in a Damian Maia fight, it doesn't matter that much. And once Damian Maia can get a hold of you, that's it. At least until the round is over, or if he can't finish you in that round, you have some catching up to do if Maia won a round against you. Obviously, Damian Maia is getting up there in age. I think Lehman Good is definitely that type of fighter who can hit him with any sort of 2 or 3 piece combo, and it'll be enough to take out Maia, especially over the course of his career, the damage he's picked up. But he's been a very, very slick about tiptoeing around that and still finishing fights the way he wants. It's really close, but I don't know, man. I got Lehman Good in this one. I think he lights Maia up with something.
Could happen, man. I can see Lehman knocking him out.
Yeah.
I could see
He's
that.
going to light him up with something before
but
Damian Maia gets a hold of him. But
yeah,
if Damian Maia does, he better keep him right on the floor.
Or Maia's going to sub him if he gets him to the floor. He knows he
can see
can't go
Maia
back
just
to the feet.
triangling him and staying on his back for a really long time until something happens or until he ends. I don't know.
I see like Maia's trying to finish this fight. He wants to probably make a statement that he's back.
For sure.
I see them finishing this fight. But yeah, I think the next fight is our co-main event. I have no idea because I'm not looking. Co-main event: Jose Aldo versus Renato Moicano. I'll go super quick. I got 2 units on Moicano minus 131 to win like one. I don't even know, man. 1.5 units or 1.51 or something. I don't know. Yeah, whatever. But I have him at minus 131, 2 units on Moicano. I think this is a good fight for Moicano. I think it's tough, man. It's tough to say because fucking Jose Aldo looked good against Jeremy Stephens, right?
Yeah.
But Jeremy Stephens lit him up at some points too.
Oh, Jeremy Stephens was bombing him early.
Yeah, Jeremy Stephens lit him up. It wasn't until Jeremy Stephens wasn't backing down either, and he got hit with that body shot, and that body shot was deadly, bro.
But Aldo throws those normally, man. Like,
yeah,
that's a regular punch for him.
Yeah, he hit Max with it. I watched and everything, but he did get tagged a lot in that fight, and in the second, no, he finished him in the first round, right?
First round.
Yeah.
It was right after the body shot. I'm pretty sure he just dropped.
Yeah. Okay, so we didn't get to see how he is over 3. Yeah, but whatever. Something that I need to point out is this guy's already talking about retirement, saying 2019 is his last year. He has no plans on winning the title anymore. He doesn't want to pursue the title anymore. So when guys start talking like that, like they don't want to pursue the title, you're fighting against Renato Moicano, who thinks this fight is for him to be the next in line for the fucking title. You don't think Renato is gonna go fucking as hard as he can?
Oh, he's going ham.
100%, man. But regardless, I do like Moicano in this fight a lot. I think he's able to land some leg kicks. I think it's going to be a back and forth fight, but I do see Moicano pulling this off, maybe even knocking out Jose Aldo. Moicano is so fucking dangerous. He throws so much combinations. He's just fucking deadly, bro. I like Moicano a lot, so I got 2 units in him at minus 131. Gib?
Man, you can feel the wind coming off some of his left hooks and kicks that he swings, and these are when he misses shots.
And I just need to point out super quick, the fights against Max Holloway, who's kind of similar to Renato, but Renato throws a little bit more than Max. I think Renato would give a good fight to Max. It'd be one of Max's toughest fights, actually. But
he
regardless,
and he
in the second round of the fight between Max Holloway and Jose Aldo, you can already see that Jose Aldo's fading. He has his mouth open and everything, so expect that to be another issue here. The crowd's going to be going crazy for Aldo. They're already going crazy. That's their boy, but I really like Renato here. But Dib, go ahead.
Yeah, man, he's got some very swatty punches, kind of bear pausey with that hook. Trying to avoid those and almost lets him land a kick very easily. Just because of Moicano's aggression, it's what keeps people back and tends to make them fizzle down. Any type of fighter who likes to put pressure, who Aldo really likes to put pressure. I mean, he's always walking forward, stands super tall at times, but took out Calvin Kattar. A lot of right hand at the end of the first round. Found its home in the second as well. Very fast at landing right kicks and switching stances, and then landing some kicks from that same opposite side without being knocked over. Calvin Kattar pretty much had his legs taken out from him along with his body, and it affected him, and it completely changed where he could engage with him. You know, when you start swinging wild hands, a lot of people stay really far away, but they're already getting hit by so many leg kicks and are already walking around damaged. So they have to take those as kind of resting points. And Moicano's aggression is always moving forward. So once he misses that swing, he's going with the forward momentum, and he's keeping that pressure. Jose Aldo, this might be his fight. Whereas Jeremy Stephens was taken down in one round. Jeremy Stephens went a split decision with Renato Moicano, I think, right?
Yeah, but Renato tuned him up.
But
even against Ortega, Renato was landing so many, like outstriking Ortega by so much, bro. It's crazy.
He was striking Ortega,
and then he goes for an ill-advised takedown. Which looks good almost at one point that he's going to get him down, but you just can't do that against Ortega. He wrapped his neck and game over. That's
Ortega.
Renato's only loss. Yeah.
He definitely plays possum and then just gets you in some submission. And Jose Aldo, like, he's not a big he doesn't like to fake when he gets hurt. Like, this guy's real, man. He stands right in front of you. He's got that Sugar Shane Mosley jittery front hand that always goes up and down and then starts to strike. He's always exchanging in cross counters and just lives in that really close area to strike with. A lot of dirty boxing, a lot of good feints. That body shot that he landed on Jeremy Stephens is something that he throws a lot more often. It just doesn't finish fights. You know, when he starts swinging those punches, and he can get very dangerous when he tosses up the 1-2s and starts throwing his hip into it. I think Jeremy Stephens was an amazing fight for him. I actually thought Stephens was going to win that fight. Even while watching it in the first round, I thought that Jeremy Stephens put Aldo on his back foot very quick. When Aldo started exchanging, that's all of a sudden when the tide started to shift. And when people want to strike with Jose Aldo, when they're winning fights, they don't do very well. So, hopefully Moicano can kind of strike him out and maybe even have him worried about the distance management and maybe even get him while going backwards. I think that's Moicano's only chance here, and it'll be definitely a gunslinging war for this. But I think Moicano has it.
Okay, cool. Okay, our next fight, Rafael Assuncao versus Marlon Moraes, their main event. Doing this as fast as possible. The fights are on right now. I'm not missing it. Marlon coming off a knockout win with Jimmy Rivera. Looked good in that fight. Knockout of Aljamain Sterling. Beat Dodson, and then his only loss to Assuncao in his first fight was super close split decision.
That fight.
Really close fight, man. I don't know who won. It was super close. I think Marlon might have won, but I bet him, so I'm a little bit biased. Rafael, on the other hand, handled Rob Font very well. A tough Rob Font. Finished Matthew Lopez. Won that split with Marlon Moraes. It's going to be a close fight, guys. I expect this is very worthy of the main event. And just to jump back quick, Jose Aldo didn't want this main event. He wanted a 3-rounder. So that's another sign, but whatever. I'll let that one go. Maybe he just wanted a 3-rounder so he doesn't want to do the 5-rounders anymore. It's whatever. But regardless, I think that's something else to look into. But this is the real main event, and I still don't know who I'm going with at this moment. And I'm picking. This is a tough one to fucking pick. I'll take Marlon. I think Marlon's on a hot streak, and he gets his
I think Marlon takes it too.
All right. Want to break that down a little bit or no?
Sure, man. Marlon Moraes trains as a beat Nurmagomedov, man, and it really shows. You can end fights in the first round if you move forward and you sprint into kicks. When he lands flush. He lands from the blind side, and these are kicks that he throws normally. The kick that he landed against Jimmy Rivera, I mean, that was a big kick. Don't get me wrong, and it was an amazing shot. but it really didn't look like it was the hardest that Marlon Moraes has ever thrown a kick or even landed on other people. Before knocking him out, I think he took out Aljamain Sterling in one round as well. And Aljamain is normally super athletic and able to outflash a lot of people with his own kicks. Moraes wasn't even flinched, and I think he took that one out in like first round as well. I mean, these fights don't last very long with him. When he throws uppercuts, when he starts to get close to guys, man, he can start pulling the trigger on certain kicks that are just perfect, and they just fit right into place. You gotta watch when he misses kicks, because his balance is really good, but I still think that if he gets rushed and gets grappled, he can get hurt, because in the Rafael Assuncao fight, which, I mean, this is why I like rematches. It's cool to see a run it back again, especially after fighters have been winning since that loss or since that last fight, and everybody's kind of been wondering. One of the biggest things with that fight that Assuncao kind of had is I thought Assuncao made it really difficult for Marlon Moraes to land what he wanted. Now, that's not to say that Marlon Moraes didn't land some amazing head kicks, but I thought Assuncao did a lot better than most fighters who get matched up against him. You know, his punches seemed to land, and he even landed a lot of critical ones. Kind of difficult to figure out Assuncao, to be honest with you. And it seemed like he couldn't land the really, really big moves that he wanted. He had some really big overhand rights, I thought, in that fight. Some great left hooks, too, that really started to control and keep a lot of people back. Not only Marlon Moraes, but a lot of his left hooks just kind of started to keep people away. And when he goes into spin kicks, sometimes even two, he can get just as deadly as Moraes. Now, I wouldn't put his kicks up against Moraes at all. I think Moraes has the kicks pretty much down pat, but Assuncao has some great takedown potential as well. And he also sneaks in some great body strikes and good knees as well. You can pull the trigger on a lot of good hands, especially when people are up against the fence.
All right, Gib, who do you got, man? The fights are about to start.
I got Marlon Moraes.
Okay, cool. Okay, give them your DraftKings lineup.
All right, and my DraftKings lineup is Junior Albini. I got Bilatalov, Renato Moicano, Said Nurmagomedov, Charles Oliveira, and Marcus Perez.
Nice lineup. I like it. Okay, my bets, I got Renato Moicano, 2 units at -131, 2 units on Thiago Alves at +170, and then I got a parlay of Anthony Hernandez, Magomed Bibulatov, Taylor Santos, and fight doesn't go to decision for Maia versus Good at +359, 2.93 units. Okay, so everyone that's cash the bets, enjoy the fights. They're starting right now. Magomed versus Bibulatov versus Bontorian. Everybody enjoy and have a good one, guys. Take care.
Have a good one.
See you next week.
See you.